All right, folks, let me tell you, I've done some crazy things in my life. From scaling mountains to diving into the depths of the ocean, I've always sought out the thrill of the unknown. I've trained with elite athletes, pushing my body to its physical limits, enduring grueling workouts that left me gasping for breath and drenched in sweat. I've experimented with sensory deprivation tanks, floating in complete isolation, cut off from all external stimuli, and even tried DMT, exploring the far reaches of my consciousness. But nothing, and I mean nothing, quite prepared me for the challenge I'm about to tell you about, surviving on the world's most extreme diet for 100 hours straight. Imagine stripping away every comfort, every indulgence, and pushing your body to the absolute brink of its capabilities. Now, I'm no stranger to pushing my body to the limit. I've run marathons, lifted weights that seemed impossible, and engaged in extreme sports that tested my courage and resilience. I'm all about testing boundaries and exploring the outer reaches of human potential. Whether it's climbing a mountain or doing yoga on a cliff, I thrive on challenges that push me beyond my comfort zone. But this diet, my friends, this was a whole different beast. It wasn't just about physical endurance, it was a mental battle, a test of willpower and determination. We're talking about stripping away all the comforts, all the indulgences, all the things that make life worth living, at least for a foodie like me, and pushing my body to the absolute brink. No more delicious meals, no more snacks, just plain, unappetizing food that barely kept me going. Why do it, you ask? Well, curiosity for one. I wanted to see if I had the mental and physical fortitude to withstand such an extreme regimen. Could I really survive on such a restrictive diet for 100 hours? I wanted to see if I had the mental and physical fortitude to withstand such an extreme regimen. But more than that, I wanted to understand the science behind it all. What happens to your body when you deprive it of essential nutrients? How does your mind cope with the constant pangs of hunger? But more than that, I wanted to understand the science behind it all. What happens to your body when you deprive it of essential nutrients? How does your mind cope with the constant pangs of hunger? I delved into scientific articles, consulted with experts, and analyzed data to prepare myself for what lay ahead. What happens to your body when you deprive it of essential nutrients? How does your mind cope with the constant pangs of hunger? These were the questions that haunted me as I embarked on this journey. I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I was determined to find out. How does your mind cope with the constant pangs of hunger? The gnawing emptiness in your stomach, the relentless craving for food, the mental fog that sets in when you're deprived of essential nutrients. It was a battle on all fronts, and I was ready to face it head on, so I took the plunge. I decided to embark on this journey, knowing full well that it would be one of the toughest challenges I had ever faced. I prepared myself mentally and physically, ready to push my limits like never before. I cleared my schedule, stocked up on willpower, or at least what I thought was enough, and braced myself for the most grueling 100 hours of my life. I knew it would be tough, but I was determined to see it through. Little did I know this experience would push me to my absolute limit and teach me more about myself than I ever thought possible. It was a journey of self-discovery, a test of resilience, and a testament to the power of the human spirit. By the end of it, I emerged not just physically stronger, but mentally tougher, with a newfound appreciation for the simple things in life. All right, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Today we're diving into the world of extreme dieting, a place where only the brave dare to tread. What exactly does this world's most extreme diet entail? You might be wondering if it's just another fad or if it truly pushes the boundaries of human endurance. Buckle up, because it's not for the faint of heart. This journey is a roller coaster of physical and mental challenges. We're talking about a strict 1,000 calorie-a-day regimen. Yes, you heard that right. Just 1,000 calories to sustain an entire day. That's right, a measly 1,000 calories to fuel my workouts, my podcasts, my entire existence for 100 hours. Imagine trying to power through your day with such limited fuel. And don't think for a second that I was popping bonbons and chugging protein shakes. This diet was meticulously planned to ensure minimal intake. Oh no, this diet was all about deprivation. It was a test of willpower and discipline, stripping away all the comforts of modern eating. My menu for the next 4 days consisted of small portions of chicken breast, and I'm talking minuscule, like a couple of bites per meal, and a meager serving of green vegetables. It was a stark contrast to the usual hearty meals. No carbs, no sugar, no fruit, no fun. The absence of these staples made every meal feel like a chore rather than a pleasure. And to make matters worse, No seasonings or artificial sweeteners were allowed. The food was as bland as it could get, making each bite a test of endurance. Just bland, boring, torture on a plate. But wait, there's more. The challenge didn't stop at the dinner table. As if the dietary restrictions weren't enough, I also had to maintain a rigorous exercise regimen. This wasn't just about eating less, it was about pushing my body to its limits. We're talking 12,000 steps a day, rain or shine, plus my usual jiu-jitsu training. The physical demands were relentless, adding another layer of difficulty to the diet. And to top it all off, I had to guzzle down 7.5 liters of water daily. Staying hydrated was crucial, but it also added to the challenge. Now I know what you're thinking. Joe, you're a maniac. Why would anyone willingly put themselves through this? Why would you do this to yourself? It's a valid question, and one I ask myself multiple times throughout this journey. And you know what? You're not wrong. It was a grueling experience, but it was also incredibly enlightening. But trust me, this journey was about more than just physical endurance. It was a deep dive into the psyche, exploring the boundaries of human willpower. It was about exploring the limits of human willpower and understanding the profound connection between our minds, our bodies, and the fuel we provide them. This diet was a mirror, reflecting my strengths and weaknesses. I kept a journal throughout the process, documenting every high and low. The act of writing down my thoughts helped me stay focused and committed. Reflecting on past experiences, I realized how much we take food for granted. It's not just about sustenance, it's about culture, comfort, and connection. Sharing a meal with friends and family is a fundamental human experience. This diet made me appreciate those moments even more. Time seemed to slow down during this diet. Every hour felt like a day, and every meal was a milestone. But as the days went by, I found a strange sense of peace. The simplicity of the diet forced me to slow down and appreciate the little things. By the end of the 100 hours, I felt a sense of accomplishment. It wasn't just about losing weight or testing my limits, it was about gaining a deeper understanding of myself. So, would I recommend this extreme diet to everyone? Absolutely not. But for those looking to challenge themselves and explore the depths of their willpower, it can be a transformative experience. In the end, it's not just about fueling the machine, it's about understanding the intricate balance between mind, body, and spirit. And that, my friends, is a journey worth taking. So until next time, keep pushing your limits and discovering new facets of yourself. Stay strong, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the greatest journeys are the ones we take within. Let me tell you, the first 24 hours were brutal. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. The moment I decided to embark on this journey, I knew it wouldn't be easy, but I didn't expect it to be this challenging. The hunger pangs hit me like a ton of bricks. It was as if my body was rebelling against me, demanding that I give in and eat something, anything. It was like my stomach was a bottomless pit, constantly demanding to be fed. No matter how much water I drank or how many distractions I tried to create, the hunger was always there, gnawing at me. I'm talking gnawing, aching, insatiable hunger. The kind that makes you question your sanity and wonder why you ever thought this was a good idea. Everything around me suddenly looked delicious. Foods I wouldn't normally crave became the object of my obsession. I could smell the faintest hint of food from miles away. I found myself staring longingly at the crew's lunches, fantasizing about pizza and burgers. The sight of someone else enjoying their meal was almost too much to bear. My dreams were even filled with food. I would close my eyes and be transported to a world where I was surrounded by all my favorite dishes. I'm talking full-blown feasts with mountains of pasta and rivers of chocolate. It was pure torture. Every night I would wake up feeling even hungrier than before. And the workouts? Don't even get me started. Trying to exercise on an empty stomach was a whole new level of difficulty. My energy levels were completely depleted. I felt like I was running on fumes, barely able to keep up with the demands of my routine. Every step felt like a marathon, every punch felt sluggish. It was as if my body was moving through molasses, resisting every movement. I had to dig deep, folks, real deep, to find the motivation to keep going. But I pushed through. I reminded myself of my goals and the reasons why I started this journey in the first place. I reminded myself why I was doing this, that it was only temporary, and that I'm a goddamn machine. I visualized my success and kept my eyes on the prize. Okay, maybe not a machine, but you get the point. I had to find humor in the situation to keep my spirits up. Laughter became my secret weapon against the hunger and fatigue. I was determined to prove to myself that I could handle anything. This experience taught me that with enough determination and a positive mindset, I could overcome any obstacle. And in the end, it was all worth it. Now, I'm not a doctor, but I'm fascinated by the science of the human body. And let me tell you, this diet messes with your system in some pretty wild ways. See, when you deprive your body of carbohydrates, its primary source of energy, it goes into a state called ketosis. Now, ketosis can be beneficial for weight loss, but it can also come with a whole host of side effects. We're talking brain fog, fatigue, irritability, the works. And because this diet was so low in calories, my body was basically in starvation mode. This meant that my metabolism slowed down to conserve energy, and my testosterone levels likely took a nosedive. Not ideal, to say the least. Plus, the lack of essential nutrients like vitamins and minerals can really throw your body out of whack, so yeah, this diet was basically a recipe